Hello, my name is Mordred Viking, and I'd like to welcome you to this stream of Hearts of Iron 4. This is a special one, though. I am doing a collaboration together with the Royal British Legion, which is the British Veterans Association, effectively. Then we also have Garius the Brit and Dan Hill coming in. And the idea of this is I am playing the Endsieg mod from June 44, which is the beginning of D-Day, as you will see down here. And the idea is to try and survive for as long as I can. What is happening is I am streaming, obviously, here on this channel. I will be playing the game, and then in Observer mode, we're going to have Dan and Garius, who are on Garius the Brit's Twitch channel. So every now and then, someone should just type in !historians, and a link to that will come up. And basically what they're doing is observing the game as it goes on, and then giving historical analysis and context to everything that's occurring. So, for example, when I assign a commander to try and oversee the defense at Normandy, I might assign somebody different than who historically happened, and they would be able to tell you about that. So we are currently working on getting a multi-stream set up so that you can watch both streams at the same time and basically click between the two. I would suggest listening to one of the two audios, either mine, where I'm going to be telling you what I'm doing in-game, why I'm doing it, the usual Mordred Viking streaming stuff, or you can switch over to them and you'll get the more historical context. The other thing I would highly recommend you do is check out the other VOD after the stream. So if you're watching me right now, then after this stream, go and watch it from their perspective, because I think it's going to be a really interesting juxtaposition in terms of what's going on and why. The other thing I want to say is this has not yet actually started. So they're going to go live in about half an hour. So right now it is just me. And there's the multi-stream. Mistani, can we get a link to that as well, mate, please? Command. What was I saying? Right, so I'm going to take about half an hour to set up, because when I did my Soviet test game, it took me 50 minutes. I don't anticipate it taking quite so long, or at least I hope not, seeing as I only have half an hour. So we're going to go through that. We'll talk about early strategies, what exactly I'm trying to do, how I'm going to try and do it, and we shall basically go from there. Okay, so Romania is still on our side. That was one thing I wanted to check. Right, so Normandy has occurred. I would think that the first thing that we need to do about Normandy, huzzah, is try and defeat it. One rule that we have set ourselves is I am not allowed to attack these guys for 1 week. Just because AI derps, it's Hearts of Iron. And also you'll notice there's only actually French troops here. That seems to be a limitation of this mod. The Americans and the Brits have not arrived yet to reinforce this. So we're going to give them 1 week to try and do whatever it is that they want to do, and then I can go crazy and try to push them back. However, I can use that week to mobilize my forces in the area. So it's going to be the 28th of June, midnight the 28th of June, that we can go and attack. Thank you, Mistani. Also, Ilbeard, thank you very much for the 12-month resubscription. Really do appreciate that. Thank you so much, Ilbeard. Coming in with 1 year. Congratulations on earning your golden wings. Thank you. Okay, so the other thing I want to talk about quickly is overall game plan. What are we planning to do here? We are going to pursue a France first policy. We need to kick the Allies out of France. Fighting a war on 2 fronts ain't going to work for us. In fact, we're fighting a war on 3 fronts because Operation Torch has begun. Half of Italy has already fallen. So we're going to try and fight defensively in Italy, giving up as little territory as possible, but ultimately sacrificing that front. We are going to try and hold as best we can against the Soviets, which is not going to be an easy task. And we're going to actively try to push the Allies out of France. Once the Allies are out of France, then we can start working on the Soviets and the Italians. We'll probably go to Italy and then finally the Soviets. I am going to do something a little bit risky. I'm going to do naval Germany. Of course I am, this is me. So we are going to heavily pursue submarine strategy. And the idea behind using the subs is basically to intercept transports as they come in. which will basically knock the UK and the USA out of the war. That's basically what I'm hoping to do. Not necessarily knock them out, but keep them out. Then we can focus all of our land forces towards the Soviets and the Italians. The British and the Americans are still going to be able to use air power, so that is going to be very, very difficult to deal with, I have a feeling, which is why Romania is going to be so important, because it's got a lot of oil, and we kind of need that. If we lose Romania, then basically we're going to have to fight pretty hard to get it back again. I'm not going to use my surface fleets. That's going to be one of my oil-saving strategies, is to basically keep the surface fleet docked in Kiel. We're just going to be using submarines, aircraft, and then regular armies. American oil. I don't know how much of history you know there, Kaiser, but we're at war with America, so we can't buy any from them. Oil, don't let the Americans have that. Oh, I see what you're saying. You're saying the Americans got oil! Katie, coming in with a 22-month resubscription. Thank you very much for that, Katie. Crikey, that is quite a long time ago. Can't believe I'm rooting for Nazi Germany for Go Mordred. Yeah, that was one of the little things I was like, we're celebrating VE Day by trying to save Germany? Okay. But it should be a fun scenario, so there is that. And, okay, so let's start doing some work here. I think I'm actually... No, Normandy makes the most sense. So we're going to just grab all of these guys and stick you in an army. There's 23 of you, that's good. I'm going to grab all the tank divisions because I have something special in mind for you. Which we're going to separate out, and we're going to give you a separate icon so I can identify you guys are tanks. So this is the infantry. We're going to keep the Fallschirmjäger in with the infantry, although they are much lighter troops. Cherbourg, you're going to have to stick with them. And that's going to be a separate unit as well, because I don't want them moving around. Okay, so that's that. Next up, we're going to get the garrison forces. And I'm going to spend a bit of time doing the garrison forces manually, because I don't trust the AI at all to actually hold these places. And we kind of need to. We have like the absolute minimum guarding our coastline. Okay, that's not coast. So I think... where did I pull you from? You're from here. Okay, that's fine. We'll have you guarding here. We'll have one of you guarding there. We'll have you guarding... Oops. Oh, Dunkirk's is its own separate province. Interesting. Then let's see. Is that in The Hague or in Rotterdam? That's in Rotterdam. Pretty sure. Yes. Then Amsterdam is not a port, but Noord-Holland is. Keep that guarded. Okay, we have a spot up there, which you're going to need to guard. Then Wilhelmshaven, completely unguarded. That just won't do. Pull you down to go and deal with that. Now, do I want the French areas guarded by one army and then we'll use others to guard another? I think so. So basically everything facing this coastline and this coastline are going to be this army. Then everything over here, which shouldn't be under as heavy threat of invasion, we can do with a different army, which doesn't then stretch our unit capacity too hard. Toulon is also one. I'm going to miss a port, I know I am. It's the downside to doing this manually, but I don't trust the garrison command. Spezia hasn't got one, that's not good. You're in the wrong place. Now the Italians. Do I want this to be the same garrison guarding this side? I don't think so. I think that this needs to be a different set. So we can get up to the 24 in here. So this is going to be a garrison army. We're going to give you the garrison shield. Wasn't there a port next to Nice? Oh, yes, I got the wrong place. Oh no, that's 0. It is Nice. We already have it guarded. And that's a shipyard, it's not a port. Okay, so on this side, we're going to start a new unit. And of course you're going to be the same colour. That's not going to be confusing. Those are both mechanized. That's interesting. We want the mechanized to be kept separate. Okay, so we are short a man down here. You will have to take that spot. In Venice. And then this is going to be that icon, and I am definitely changing your colour. Got that. Got that. Yes. Split is 1. Huzzah! Can't I just destroy all of the ports, please? I'm not going to allow anyone in by destroying the ports. And you know what, these guys are going to be in a different theatre just so I can keep track of you separately. Of course, Corfu is one. Is there one here? There is. And there's nobody defending Patras. That's going to be your job. Because unfortunately the Italians have already lost the Mediterranean. So I actually need to defend all of this. Cyclades don't have a port, so that doesn't matter. Thessaloniki doesn't have a port. Interesting. Those are both mountain troops. I don't think I really want to use mountain troops there. Okay, then the Black Sea front, I think, is going to be another unit again. And these are going to be garrisons. And the reason I'm doing this is because I, 1, don't trust the AI to actually hold on to this. And 2, their screwing up isn't going to screw up the rest of my defenses. Like, if we actually lose Romania, which honestly is likely, then we'll be in a position to deal with that situation. Alright, that's that coastline done. I think we do need to worry about the Baltic. Well, I don't really have the troops available to do that. I think I basically just need to make the Baltic too difficult to sail through. So you're going to try and win. I thought you were just trying to hold as long as you can, so the historians can explain the background. Of course I'm going to try and win. Germany was trying to win. I mean, the reality is I probably will spend most of this trying to hold. But I will try and win. When I ran an AI test of this in the week, you lost Berlin to the Romanians, just saying. Yeah, Romania fell pretty quickly in my AI test as well. I don't think things are looking too good for them. Alright, so, let's see. Things have happened. Utari! Thanks for the follow. Could have sworn you're already following. But thanks again for the follow there, Utari. And thank you also for the gifted sub. I appreciate that, Utari. Who'd that go to? Spaceman! Congratulations on the gifted sub, courtesy of Utari. Thank you, Utari. Appreciate that. And then Silver Knight said to drink some tea. And Colinus. Lovely. Alright. Now let's go and set up our proper defences. Proper. That's you lot. Then we've got you guys, who are kind of stupidly standing up here for no real reason. Except for you. Go and join that force. Then tanks. Go and join that force. Including you. And you. Are going to join this army. And I'm going to place you in tours as basically a reserve for naval invasions. 2 Dutch tanks. And join that. So can you. So can you. Alright, then this force is going to be tasked with, unsurprisingly, the reclamation of northern France. And that is almost certainly going to be a Rommel task. Okay, then defending Normandy is important, but it's not mission critical, because I'm kind of expecting the armor to do a lot of the heavy lifting there too. Okay, then we have apparently a bunch of units down here in the south. Half of you are going to be assigned to this, which is my other reserve. Half of you are going to be assigned to that. We'll go to the Tour Reserve, which leaves, I thought, one guy. Nope, that's everyone. That guy. This guy can go and join Normandy defences. We do have a tank here. You go and join Rommel. Alright, so Germany itself seems pretty clear. Now we have our Italian front. No, I'm going to do the Soviet front first. So that's going to be the Western front. These are going to be garrisons. And then we're going to have the Eastern front as well. And for that, I'm going to be a bit cheeky. Huzzah! There we go. That's the Eastern Front. Solved! No, I'm not really doing this. So, we are going to need to divide you up into more cohesive units. Now, some of you, I think, do actually want to form a garrison up here. For, like, the important ports which could serve as a backdoor. Like, these ones down here, I think, are going to be a lot harder to defend, simply because we're not going to have the manpower. It does also look like we have a bit of a cut-off here. I don't know the history behind this, but this was obviously a thing that happened. So, well done, Germany. Is it worth spamming out bad, mediocre units to hold the lines as I have 4.5 million manpower? Yes, but this is the state of my economy right now. Bearing in mind that this will be recalculated probably in a few days, and if you look at how strong most of my units are compared to theirs, or worse, theirs, that deficit is lying. There is no way that I'm only 1,000 guns short. That's probably more likely to be about 100,000 guns short. I don't think we're going to be in a position to pump out more troops for quite a long time, being honest. Right, so I want... How do I want to do this? I also need to go through flipping hell. Unit templates. So this is my regular infantry design. Those are fine. Luftwaffe Felddivision are rubbish. Then we've got the Volksgrenadier, who are actually quite good. Are they different to the infantry? The infantry have engineers, which the Volksgrenadier do not. So we will make you... keep you as the infantry, and we'll call you lot Death's Head. Whoops. So I can see exactly where they are. Then the Luftwaffles are those. Gebirgs, Fallschirm, those make sense. Leichter are actually light tanks. Panzer, these are actual light tanks. These are fast. And Panzer IIs, these are my actual kick-ass units. And we have the Tigers. Ah! Have we unpaused yet? No. These are going to be the... Actually, I don't need to change them. They're already the heavy tank icon. We might well need to change their icons, though. So the Panzer Division, I think, is going to be that. And then the Tiger Division is going to be... I'm going to forget these in like a second. I know I am. That. Because this is probably... This and this is... Oops, I've made those the same icon. What I'll eventually be upgrading to. Oh, there's the knight. So the Panzer Division is that. You can be that. No, not that. Where's it gone? Lightning bolt. There we go. And then you can be the death dealers. Then the Sicherungs divisions are just peacekeepers. You can do that. And the cavalry are, well, cavalry. Okay. I'm going to change you to being that icon. I think it suits infantry more, so I actually know that you're infantry. Huzzah! Yeah, I think that I might need to spend some of my precious starting resources on buffing these guys up a little. I hadn't realised how bad they were. Do I want to give you artillery? Probably. Actually, how fast are heavy tanks again? 6.6. That would actually make more sense. Wait, those are still 4? What? Really? Cavalry aren't any faster. Okay, so one thing I do need to point out is that this is on version 1.8 of Hearts of Iron. The current one with La Resistance is 1.9, and 1.9 is a lot more polished. I think 1.8 was actually a really bad update, and there are several things that compound that. For example, I was talking earlier how we were going to go for a submarine heavy fleet. This is with man the guns, so you can design new ships. And don't worry, this is all going to make sense as to why I just segued into this rant. You can design your own ships. The problem is, snorkels aren't a thing. So there's a lot of things which this mod lacks, which even 1.8 already has. And 1.8 was already a lacking update. It has lots of AI bugs. Like, I would not be that surprised if suddenly the Soviets just disappear. Because that happened during my Soviet test. The Germans just abandoned the Eastern Front for a couple of days. We probably, possibly, maybe, won't even see any Brits or Americans turning up here. So this is a janky version of the game, so just be warned of that. That is something we're going to need to deal with as we're going on. And apparently we're already seeing one of those janks in that cavalry aren't actually any faster than infantry. Which kind of removes their entire purpose. We have support artillery. I don't think I want to make more artillery specifically. These guys just need to be tough. And eventually, we'll probably switch out this infantry for mechanized, but right now we don't have the fuel or the resources for that. Okay, so the heavy tanks are going to be a lot heavier, but they're also going to be weaker for a few days until they receive their reinforcements. If they even do. Which is a big if. Right, back to the Eastern Front, because I really need to spend some time on this. I'm going to split out special units. Panzer's gone. Motorized gone. SS motorized gone. Cavalry I'm going to leave in because they're no actual faster. Panzer units are gone. Mechanized gone. Okay, we've actually got a fair number of decent units over here. That's good. Just checking through. Okay, so this is precisely 1 army of armor. Well, that's good. I might actually send them to go and try and defend... What's them over here? I guess that there was just an offensive here. Lvov. The Lvov offensive. Or at least they're planning something. Maybe to try and take Kiev back? Okay, so... we need to start designing this.
Zuhören!
22. Oh man, that was so close.
Befehle!
I'm going to just drop you into a different theatre for a second, just while I work this out. So we're going to have all of you, plus these two. That's an army. Next up, probably this area. Minus 21. Oh, so close. I'm going to make you something completely bonkers, which the AI doesn't usually design. They can be white, so I can see the difference of where those units are. So I need 3 white units for that army. And then we can select all of these. Deselect everyone that's not white. And then select those. And go over here, do the same thing. 14, so we need another 10. Perfect. Oh man, this is so much quicker than what I was doing with the Soviets. This has just saved us a lot of time. Oh, I like this. Oh, and that... No, wait, there are still some white units left. Oh, they're probably the reserves, aren't they? Well, that needs to be divided down, so blues probably want to be about that. I had more units selected there, that was a mistake. Put you back into your mechanized. Blues are 23, so I need 1 white unit to make up the numbers here. Will do. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is 1 army group. So that's going to be the front line. Then these guys are probably going to be my reserve. So let's give you a field marshal. So this is going to be a field marshal command holding the front line. And again, we're seeing some oddities with where the front line is. It should fix itself, though. The other thing we need to worry about is this area. In fact, that's what these guys could probably be used for. Let's have you as, like, my reaction force. Hopefully these guys won't try and cut me off from behind. They're totally going to try and cut me off from behind, aren't they? Oh, hold on. We have some Belgrade units down here. Those...
Bereit zum Ausrücken. Ihre Befehle?
I'm going to put those guys in the white division. And I'm going to take these out and add them to yet another theatre, which is going to be the Italian theatre. And I probably will merge some of these theatres together because this is going to become very unmanageable very quickly. I'm going to select all of you, except for the mechanized and the armour, and then new army. And that's the Italian front, which is going to be responsible for going there. Italian front. Do I want to give you mechanized units? I'm not sure that I do.
Bereit zum Ausrücken.
You guys are mechanized.